There's another larger spread game this week that I have chosen that I just also do not believe that the spread should be this large. The Atlanta Falcons, coming off of a bad loss, they're heading into Minnesota, and it's a revenge game. A guy that Sean
Big
said
time.
you should start. Kirk Cousins is taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And the Vikings, I mean, again, the spread is at 6. I just don't believe it should be there. The Vikings do not blow teams out. They have come away winners most of the time, but they allow a lot of passing yards. The Falcons do have some really good weapons out there. Kirk Cousins isn't afraid to sling it, even though he's thrown 6 picks and no touchdowns over his last 3 games. It's potentially a get right game in a
Slump.
revenge game.
Okay,
Bit of a slump.
I was gonna say you are saying that Kirk Cousins is going to correct problems against this Minnesota defense in Minnesota is what you're saying.
Against the Beefalo
Absolutely.
defense.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
sure.
have a I
Sure.
have
Yeah, climb Mount
a
Everest while you're at it.
yeah I have a
They
I've
let
got a
Caleb
take
Williams throw
that
for
is equally as
340 yards on
bold.
him. Like,
Yeah, I have a take that's equally as bold, but it's probably not gonna happen. Kirk Cousins versus a team that blitzes a lot, and Kirk Cousins hasn't been able to move, right? In his
immobile.
return to Minnesota, he's going to get hurt, and Michael Penix is going to come in and win the game for the Falcons.
I don't hate that
I
take.
bet
That's a
Dave would. I
fucking
bet Dave would be real happy about that one.
that's
Yeah,
a
but
fucked up take, man. Just wishing
equally
somebody
is
could get hurt. That's terrible.
equally is like improbable. I feel like is what's going like Kirk
I don't
Cousins
know, man.
isn't going to do that great.
Here's why I think that is because the Vikings defense is actually one of the best defenses against the rush. Not quite as good as Kansas City, but they are in that upper echelon against running backs. Passing wise, they're one of the worst. They allowed Caleb Williams to throw for 340 yards. Like granted, Caleb Williams was the Bears were coming back from a lower deficit, but I just don't see that happening in this game. I think it's going to be much closer. The Vikings do not walk away big time winners. Even if they go up big, they just do not know how to keep a lead. That defense is not really scaring anyone lately, and Sam Darnold has played all right over the last couple of weeks, but they just don't know how to necessarily continuously find the end zone. They've got a lot of weapons, but I don't think it's a big worry, especially because we think the Falcons do have a upper, better half, top 15 defense.
Kirk Cousins,
I
3 touchdowns.
I think the Vikings lose late in the season, but I don't think the Falcons coming into Minnesota and doing that to them. I really don't.
Just because Tybo wants to be bold, I'll go 6 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins.
Wow. Wow.
Big
Six
revenge.
touchdowns.
Big
That's
revenge.
not
Maybe even one to the other team, probably at that point, if you're throwing the ball
the
like
only
that.
way that happens is if they make an in-game trade, Justin Jefferson for Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins just go have the fucking just most ridiculous game ever.
Game of their
Six
life.
touchdowns, and in typical fashion, Kyle Pitts doesn't even get a target.
Right. Not from Sam Darnold.
Oh man, yeah. This game's gonna be interesting. I think too. I just the Vikings are still a good team. I think they just have to get right on a different day. I don't think their game against the Falcons will be that day, unfortunately. But we'll have to see. So